Ask John the 5
What's your
questions.
favorite color?
Yeah. My favorite color?
Mhm.
Oh, honestly, it depends. I do
It's not a
love
fucking
red.
trick question, bro.
No,
Just
it is
answer,
because
pick a
it
color.
depends.
Hey, hey, hey.
Going on, Gary. Hello, everybody that's watching. Welcome.
It always takes like a half a second for me to get started on all of the platforms. Just because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Like Instagram always takes a half a second. But
Well, listen, you're playing co-host and engineer at the same time.
I know. And
I know
hope
what
it works
that's.
this
I
week.
know what that.
Yeah.
I did that for years, dude. It is it takes a bit. It's not an easy thing, you know.
No, it's
pushing
not.
the buttons and you
It's
know.
too
Luckily, you don't have to play with camera angles. You know, if everybody was in house, it would be a completely different animal. You know.
Who's the first one on board today? Let's see. The first get
That
up.
reminds me.
Meow.
Let me pull up,
Spicy
the
Kitten.
chat.
First one in my
Spicy.
chat here. Yep. We got Brian. Welcome.
Brian, wait. Me and Brian are
Everybody.
going somewhere fun next week.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Where are you going? Do tell.
Gotta keep it low key for now.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want I paid for the whole place and I don't want, you know, someone to try to, you know, wiggle their way in and get in and join it. You know what I'm saying? So keeping it low key, but it's gonna be fun.
All right. I told you, I'm getting a lesson tomorrow from the great Patty Negri. If you guys are fans of the paranormal, you should know who she is. She gave me a lesson in divination. I'm gonna get to interview her, and that'll air sometime, I think, in March, maybe even early April. We're so far ahead, dude. We got so many guests, many shows.
I know. There's a lot.
There's a lot, man.
There is a lot. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. We got a lot of awesome
It's gonna be so fun. Welcome, Instagram. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope the tech's okay. Give a thumbs up. Give a comment if it is. How do you guys? I hope you guys can hear me better today. I think I fixed the audio. Everyone's always like, "You're so low." Even my mother was like, your grandmother was like, "I can hardly hear you on there."
That's so weird because you sound fine for me. I guess that's just the production. You know, that's just the
because you're in the room. I don't know what it is.
That's
And
weird.
guys, we've got a guest today. Everyone, and John, you didn't get the memo because you're not in the right color scheme for our guest, who's sitting in the lobby.
I can make that happen.
Uh-oh. We're gonna get a costume change? It's like watching the Golden Globes.
Hold on.
What? Let's see what's happening.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
It's happening.
It's happening.
I can make magic happen real quick.
You are making magic happen. Look at that.
With the lighting.
Oh my goodness. All right, we got a good little crowd here tonight. I think it's ready. I think we're ready to start the show. As soon as John sits back down. There we go. Oh, yeah, now we're in it. Now you're in it. And it makes total sense.
You look good?
It looks good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Splintered Spirits. I am your host, Gary. This is our co-host, John Santa from Santa Paranormal, who you all know and love. We are here to try to answer the question, what are spirits? It's a very hard question to answer, but we are painting a nice picture, putting a mosaic, a tapestry of answers together.
Yes, we are.
And let me tell you about our guest who's sitting in the waiting room today, John. It's great. Our guest today is the godmother of magic.
Mm-hmm.
A multi-gifted psychic, shamanic medium, and aura artist whose life was transformed by not one, but two near-death experiences and a rare form of synesthesia. Do you know what synesthesia is?
Is that when you go under anesthesia and it almost kills you?
No, that is when you see color. Like words have color and things have like your senses are wired up weird, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yep,
she literally sees people in color.
Wow. So almost like their auras.
Almost, yes, exactly right. I wonder if this light's gonna fuck her up. We'll find out. Guys, we're talking about the Blue Bodhi, right? Born in Tulsa, raised in Colorado Rockies by middle-class hippie parents. She grew up steeped in curiosity about nature, culture, and the unseen, eventually turning her ability to see the layers of a person's aura into a professional practice that's taken her across the country and in front of thousands. from everyday seekers to celebrities with more than 500,000 followers on TikTok. I think she's got like even close to, I think she's got over 600,000 to be honest with you, and across all mediums. She's got a big following. Hundreds of spiritual certifications and her own Omni Reiki system. I'm not really too familiar with Reiki. It has to do with like energy of some kind, right? I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll find out. She travels, teaches, holds powerful online spaces focused on healing, mental health, and helping people feel safe, seen, and spiritually supported. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring her in. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm bringing in the Blue Bodhi.
I'm bringing the Blue Bodhi.
Here we go. Blue!
Hey, Blue! What's poppin'?
Can you hear us okay?
How's it going?
Perfect.
I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Welcome to Splintered Spirits. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
This is very fun to have you. You have an absolutely wild backstory, and I want to dive into it. Are you ready to dive into it? Have you had your coffee? Look, we're all
Let's
in blue
go.
for you. Listen, you described growing up with middle class hippie parents in the Rockies, which sounds very woo woo. Was
Yep.
that like did that spirituality in your house? What was it like to have that as a kid? And it seems like did you ever rebel against it, or did you dive right in on with both feet? Like, did you ever think,
Man,
was
you
there any
just came
part of
like
you
with
like,
the
I'm gonna
heart,
become
like
an
the
accountant?
big question. You know what? Up until 9th grade, I wanted to be an astronaut. Like
Okay.
I was writing to NASA about black holes when I was 8. So like if you had told me when I was like, 8, 9, 10, or even 18, hey, you know what? One day you're going to be a professional witch with a haunted church and travel the country. I'd have been like, okay, cool. But, so yeah, so spirituality wasn't on my radar. We never went to church. We didn't do those kinds of things. Church was like the mountains. So at, 6, 7 years old, I was learning how to walk without anything hearing you, like where to step, where not to step, like how to make a fire without anything. Just, weird shit that I thought all kids learned until we moved back to Oklahoma because I was born here. We moved back here and I was like, oh, I'm weird. Like, okay, like you guys all go to church and, do things after school and I want to go play in the dirt. Like, all right.
Was it a pain
But
in the ass to find a
I grew
place
up
to eat?
going to places
Was it like the kind of town you grew up in Oklahoma, like Sundays, everything's closed and it's a real pain in the ass because everyone's at church? Is it that
and
religious?
that was a suburb of Tulsa. A suburb of Tulsa. But yeah, there's still a lot of stuff closed here on Sundays. Like 8, 9 o'clock. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if
All right,
I'd be
so
able to survive.
I know it's tough.
I really hate it. So there's that. Like,
Right, it's tough.
but you can get DoorDash pretty much all hours of the night. So I'm okay
All right,
right
so
now.
that works.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so when did the astronaut thing change from being wanting to like study space and then just sort of like seeing space?
So in 9th grade, I got this bright idea that I wanted to take karate lessons. And I got my knee snapped pretty hard and ended up having surgery and cried because I knew that I was, like at that point, I was out. So yeah, I cried when they woke me up after surgery.
Oh
like,
no.
but I take don't judge. I take the free courses on MIT on like quantum physics. Like that's what I do in my spare time.
I love that.
Don't judge.
No,
So,
I'm not
so,
judging.
Blue, do you think that there is a connection between a spiritual perspective and a cosmic
Oh, wait.
perspective?
Hold on. Wait, Blue, don't John, you're
Should we
jumping
save
way
that
ahead.
question?
Wait,
Should I
save that
save that
question.
question?
Save it. Save it for a second. We gotta learn a little bit
She
more about
said,
Blue.
Okay. La, 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 la,
No, no,
la.
no.
yeah, yeah,
Here,
yeah.
sit
All
down.
right, all right.
You're
We'll
jumping way
save
ahead.
that for Liz.
Because we got to get to where you are today, Blue. And it's so you had bacterial meningitis in 19, which is unbelievably scary and threatening. I had a friend in high school who lost his life through meningitis. It is so you had a near death experience there. Um, how did that change you when
2.
you came back? I know you had 2. I'm like, when just start with the first one.
Um,
What changed in your life when you came? And now, have you always had synesthesia? Did these things develop over time, or what's going on here?
so I think that I always had it a little bit. I played the trumpet all through school, and I could always tell if my pitch was off because in my mind the sound of the note sat in a certain space. Like it sounds so crazy when you describe it, but it sat in a certain space, like on a graph. So I knew if the note was higher, then I needed to bring it down. It was too sharp or whatever. So I think I always had a little bit of it. I assume, brain damage is a fun thing to have happen that crosses the wires and like all I could do is joke about it, like it could be worse. I could be a vegetable. I could not be here. So I do think that I lost my best friend my senior year of high school to cancer. So that and then this, I think that gave me such a different outlook on everything, on everything. Um but I don't really remember much between, going into the emergency room and then them pulling me out of the coma and ICU, except I very vividly remember when they did whatever they do to bring you out of a medical coma. The neurologist was on my left, and when he patted my arm, it was like green, 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 like just really bright, just neon green like that.
No,
And I
no.
remember, like
I'm
I
sorry.
I
Wait.
said,
Tell me what that when you say it's green, green, green. What do you say? Like they turn green, a light behind them turns green, like a filter over here. Like what exactly is the green that you
no,
see?
it's like bifocals. The best way I can explain it, it's like bifocals. So I have chromesthesia, which is where when you hear stuff, you see shit like constant psychedelic fun. And then I also have tactile visual. So when I touch stuff, I physically see a color. So when he
Wow.
touched my arm, it was like flashes of light like that. So that's
Okay.
what I mean when I say like green, green, green. And I said, "Oh, you're green." And he said I remember he patted me, and he was like, "She's still waking up." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, so and
Do you see color right
I
now? Like,
didn't
do you see
actually
me in a different
know.
color?
Uh-huh.
John has a blue filter on him, so that's weird. But like, what color do I have?
So your voice itself is it's kind of an indigo color, but when you get really excited about something, like when you were telling him, hang on, hang on, hang on, your voice gets brighter, like really bright. So I would peg you for being somebody that when you're excited, you don't stop. Like you just 90 miles an hour, go, go, go. John, because I've listened to his live streams and stuff, your voice is actually really this gorgeous bright red color. So I mean it matches your logo almost perfectly, but it's a gorgeous, like, fire engine red color, which tells me you don't sit still.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
I'm constantly moving, you know?
Yeah.
What's a bad
Yeah.
color? Like, what when you see somebody with a certain color, then what is a scary color for you? That was like, "No, thanks."
So there's 2 voice colors. One is kind of, olive green, and the other is, like, gray poupon yellow, and I have learned that both of those are usually very, very narcissistic type people. The people that have the green voice, they're more they want power over someone else, where the other one, they're just kind of a jackass, like, so,
I love green
yeah.
though. Green brings out my eyes, like, so much. That's very disappointing. I was like, "It just does."
Well, not all green, just that green,
Alright, yeah.
just that
But you
green.
but you
Yep.
described the green as that weird, like, pale green color that were in, like, 70s and 80s bathrooms for a hot minute before people realized it was
Yep.
horrible. You know the color
Avocado
I'm talking
green.
about.
Avocado green, yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what
I
you're
mean,
talking
and
about.
there's different shades, like, I it's really funny. A lot of people that are drawn to accounting have either a green voice or when I touch them, they're a shade of green. Like, depending on the shade of green, I can tell if you're more, hippie, like, let me just heal you, or if you're more analytical, everything is in its place type of. type of color.
So this is an ability that you said you had when you were from a young age, like, you sort of knew it was there, but you're saying it strengthened or it became more noticeable after your near-death experiences?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
Um,
are you
yeah.
able to once you discovered it and embraced it, were you able to sort of strengthen it like is it like a muscle where you can hone it better? Or is it just is?
You know, I think it just is. Like, it has gotten stronger as I've gotten older. I To be honest, I didn't know that nobody else saw colors until 2020. I didn't know
Oh,
that
wow.
other people, when they listen to Metallica, they don't see this gorgeous, like, maroon red and all this stuff. I didn't know that. So, I was sitting at a symphony with a friend. I always played in the orchestra, so I never went to one. And so we went and saw, a pianist that was here from Tokyo. It was phenomenal, by the way. And, I pull up my phone and I'm on my paint app, like, doing stuff, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm drawing this because I wanna paint it when I get home." And he looked at me and he's watching and he said, "Do you have synesthesia?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, I thought, "Is that a STD?" Like, "I don't know. How do I answer that?" But so I did. I went home and painted those things, but I also went home and was like, "What is synesthesia?" Like, "Oh my god." And I'm not gonna fib, like, I sat on Reddit for almost 6 hours straight and cried because I didn't feel like I was crazy anymore. Because I told my kid once, like, "Please get out of the wind because the wind on your cell phone is like a plaid conveyor belt coming at my face and it hurts." My kid was like, "Way to sound crazy, mom," so, like, I just didn't tell people about that. And to know that other people had the same weird brain thing made me happy, and then at the same time, to know that other people don't have that because watching music is one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite things to do. So,
Did you go get did you go see a neurologist or get an MRI or anything like that ever to see, like, can this be fixed? Is this something that is tweak like, what did you do when you find it? Like, is it a tumor that you gotta worry about? You know what I mean? When you first realize and look it up. I'm just sort of curious, like, the process of it, like, "Oh, shit, I have something different. I should see a doctor."
so,
That's what I would do, right? Like,
um,
that's just
I've had 2 neurologists. So, because of having meningitis for the longest time, like, I had to go get checked, like, all the time. And then in 2014, I lost my mom to an aneurysm, and 2 months later, my sister had an aneurysm. So, I have to get checked all the time. So, brain's fine, like, everything's fine.
right.
But I've had 2 neurologists that were really interested in talking to me about it, and more than 2 that have, like, just dismissed it. So, I'm like, "Okay then," like,
Okay, sure.
whatever. I can't turn it off. Um, so as I get older and as I get stronger, I learned 2 years ago that I can no longer go to live concerts. I got to see Stevie Nicks in New Orleans. Like, I was like, what better place to see Stevie Nicks, right? I had to leave at halftime, and that was because I got so sick I couldn't. It it's constant color and things pinging in your eyes like this, and it's too much.
Oh,
I can't do
wow.
it.
Now I'm
So
curious to what colors correspond with what Metallica albums.
it
That's all I'm
depends. It
thinking.
depends.
Like, I'm wondering, like, does Load sound like Ant Justice for look like Ant Justice for All, you know what I mean? Like,
I will say their older stuff is lighter colors than their newer stuff. So
okay.
for Wherever I May Roam is one of my favorite songs. It is all like purples and yellows. There's a tiny bit of orange, but Hatfield's voice is red. And so as he gets older, it's kind of surprising to me that it gets lighter because usually people's voices get darker. But that is one of the prettiest songs
Yeah.
color wise of Metallica's. So
Okay.
Hey, Blue, does your mood affect the color that you see, or is the color constant with the subject? Do
no,
you
the
understand what I'm
the
saying?
color's constant.
Okay.
Yes, I do 100%. Yeah. Now, aura-wise, like, I can see auras, and that's something I get asked this all the time, like, "Can you learn synesthesia?" Like, I mean, unless you wanna go get brain damage, no.
Yeah, right.
But auras, yes, you can learn to see auras, like, that's where I recommend going. Like, first one, 0 out of 10, don't recommend, but second one, yes. So auras, yeah, they don't really change either unless the person is sick. Now let's say, well, here's a good example. My dad went through some stuff with his throat and his voice color changed. And the first time I talked to him on the phone afterwards, I was like, oh God, like it startled me because his voice was a completely different color. And my whole life it had been like cobalt blue and now it is like navy blue. And I was like, oh shit. So I can tell by talking to somebody by the shade of their voice if they've had a near death experience. So I
Wow.
usually can surprise people with that as well. So,
Well, let's talk about auras because I'm not really familiar with what I know
okay.
what it is in the woo woo sense, like, oh, your aura is this. But when
Yeah.
I'm talking to somebody here who can actually see it, what is that? What is the difference between seeing what color I'm giving off versus what my aura might be? What is that? What does that mean?
So when I say like what color your voice is, well, let's go over it. That's the synesthesia. We'll make that the left side. That's the
Okay.
synesthesia. So if I touch something and it's a color, then that's also the synesthesia. Now, auras, anybody can train themselves to see that. And I always tell people it's easiest with a plant because plants are living things, like, you just focus a little bit away from it, let your eyes, kind of fuzz out a little bit, and the first time you see one, you get so excited that you pull yourself out of it and then you get mad, but it's really easy to kinda train yourself to do it. Um, I really fell down the rabbit hole when I was younger with color theory because when I realized that other people's voices were colors and things like that, like, I wanted to know, okay, well, why is his voice green and so on. So I really learned what every color means and the shade of it. So that's helped me with seeing auras as well. I found that in all the research, and Carl Jung talks about this as well, the levels of your aura, depending on what you look at, the levels, the shades, whatever of your aura coincide with actually psychological levels of the psyche. So it's interesting how they line up. So when I'm reading someone's aura, I use synesthesia and the aura reading aspect, but I can go through and be like, okay, well, emotionally, you're a red right now, which means either you're super angry or you're super motivated or whatever. Mentally, you're pink, so you're the peacemaker. And so I can sit and hold someone's hand, read their aura, and read them synesthesia wise, and pretty much peg everything that's going on in their life.
Can you spot a liar that way?
It's why I'm single.
Ah,
To be honest, it's why I'm single. Like,
right, because
I
can
used to do
people
jury consulting.
oh my god. Did you really? Did you do that?
Yeah.
No shit.
Mhm.
Voir
Yeah.
dire?
I
Like
came
helping
up
pick the
with
jury?
mhm. I came up with 5 questions, and they're very disarming, and so I also ask these, like,
Ooh, ask
the few
John.
times when I'm like, "You know what?
Yeah. Ask me.
Ask John the
Okay,
5
what's your
questions.
favorite color?"
Yeah. My favorite color?
Mhm.
Oh, honestly, it depends. I
It's
do
not a
love
fucking
red.
trick question, bro.
No,
Just
it is
answer,
because
pick a
it
color.
depends on the situation. I
This is
do
like
love
Monty
red.
Python.
I do love red, but I also love black. But honestly, what my eyes just cream over is sky blue pink. That bluish pink that happens when the sun is setting and rising just gets me all excited. You
So
know?
this is not the second question, but let me ask you this. Are you neurospicy?
Yes, like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't believe.
No, neurospicy people always answer with 3 or 4 colors like this
Yeah, yeah,
every single time.
yeah.
Most people are like, "Red." But so red
Listen,
tells me
the tisms be tisming. Let's just put it that way, okay? The tisms are tisming.
I can't say shit. I have 4 drinks in front of me and 2 snacks.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's that.
It's
Yeah. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what I look at when somebody tells me their favorite color is I know what all those different things stand for. So, red tells me that you are somebody that's very passionate about stuff. You don't sit still. Black tells me that you are somebody that you appreciate things to be either black or white. You want them, they are or they're not. There's no in between, yes or no. You need to know the rules. Also, you like to know that you have your own personal power. If you had said black first, I would have said, oh, you like power over other people. So the
Mhm.
blue and the pink tells me that you have equal parts of yourself. Don't take this the wrong way. The masculine and the feminine, like you're very
Mhm.
well balanced with that. Blue, that color is a very like inner peace color, and pink is a peacemaker color. Like you literally just want everybody to get along. Like, let's
Yes,
go do fun
100%.
shit and I want everybody to get along. Like, if you can't get along, the red and the black's going to come out. We got a problem. But until then, so here's the second question. What is your favorite cereal?
I don't like cereal.
Interesting.
Captain
What
Crunch.
was your favorite cereal as a kid?
If I actually, I don't even think I ate cereal as a kid. Maybe
Okay.
when I was a toddler, Cheerios, like all kids, but like the second I had to say, I don't like cereal.
Mine's Captain
Okay.
Crunch. It still is.
Yeah. I don't like
Still
it.
is?
Yeah. What
That
does that
tells me
mean?
that you're never going to grow up.
Never.
Wait,
No.
And you
me
kind of
or
like a little
Gary?
bit of
Me.
pain
Okay.
with
Me.
your life.
Yes. Captain
Well,
Crunch
to
is
tell you that
absolutely
I
the
don't like
greatest.
cereal, that I'm a
It's
super
always
picky eater.
Captain Crunch is always in my house. Okay.
I love Captain Crunch, but being diabetic, I don't get to eat Captain
Sure.
Crunch anymore. I don't miss the mouth pain, but I do miss it. So that since you don't like cereal, I would say that is somebody that you really take time to make up your own mind and you don't go with what other people say.
100%.
So my next
100%.
question, I would rearrange my questions. So if you had said that, say they're picking you for a jury, right? And these are the questions. My next question would be, if there was no time constraint or money constraint, what kind of car would you like to have right now in your driveway?
Well, here's the funny thing, I don't drive. And I
Okay.
actually don't like cars at
Okay.
all. I don't like fast speeds in cars. I don't when I see a car, I don't go, "Ooh, that's a nice car." They all look the same to me. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I don't drive. And
It's
I
true.
have
He
no
doesn't drive.
desire. And I have no desire to whatsoever. But like I'll go on a horse. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem with that. So
With
funny.
those two answers, I would tell an attorney he's on the jury
Sucker.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he tells me that he will give me a fair shake to anything that comes up.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. I always try. Listen, compassion and evidence is how I dictate my
You're gonna be
life.
stuck on that jury. I'll get out of jury
So
duty in a half a second.
yeah.
But okay, Gary, so same question for you. No time, no money. What car would you want in your driveway right now?
I would like if it existed, I like the new electric like an electric Bronco, like a classic Ford Bronco, but an electric one. That's what I'd want.
Can I
Okay.
change my answer? Can I change my
Or
answer?
a Cadillac
Yes.
I
DeVille.
I would want in my driveway a car that I can smash up if I have to, that I can smoke in with absolutely no problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I do use vehicles. I have a driver, I get driven around,
Mm.
and there's certain things I would like. Like, there's sometimes where it's just like, yo, just tap that motherfucker. Send him off again.
He wants a snowplow.
Don't
Yeah.
ever come drive here then because like I mean, yeah.
And I do, and I can't. After a half hour, I need to light something up, or I'm gonna go nuts. Whether it be cannabis or a cigarette. It's
Unreal.
Well, I
so.
mean, I smoke in Bernadette, so you're welcome to ride with me. I like cigars though, so I don't know,
No, cigar, it won't bother. As long as the windows are rolled up, I'm
Nah,
fine.
nah.
You know? Yeah.
All right. All right. So
So what?
cars are
So
the
I know
third
Gary's
question.
dying to know, like, what does my car tell you
Yeah.
about
What's
me?
a Bronco or a
Yeah.
Cadillac? Cadillac DeVille's. I've always been. I love Cadillacs. I'm also particular to those.
Sorry, so the fourth question, right? We're on the fourth?
Yeah. So this usually is like one of the last ones that I would ask, and I moved it up because of your answer about the cereal. But so what Gary's answer tells me, since that is a car that doesn't really exist, is you are someone that 100% thinks out of the box. You are never going to go with the norm. You are never going to fall in line with what somebody tells you to do, and you are always going to strive to be more than is out there. So I would pick you. I would be like, he needs to be on the jury as well.
Damn it.
The second one tells me that you also have a lot of nostalgia in there, that you really appreciate things for what they are, but your nostalgia is different. It's not just, oh, I like, the 1970s Mustangs or
And I
yours is
like
different.
OJ, you know?
Right. A DeVille is a very, very specific it's a specific
Yeah.
luxury type of car. So it tells me that you're nostalgic for things that probably you either couldn't have as a kid or didn't have access to as a kid. You want those things that, that inner child's like, I really that? But I would pick you as well just because of that first car that you said.
Okay.
So if someone were to be like, well, I don't know, I've always liked Camaros, I'm like, no, they're
We
going to
got
go with
we got a few
whatever
people in the
Bob or
chat,
Cindy or
like, saying
Susan tells them to
Corvette.
vote.
There's a few people in
Yeah.
our chat right now going,
I look
Corvette.
at
I'm like, "Oh, shit." I'll tell you this, it
I
tells
look
me that
at the
you and Gary
following.
will never be friends. I'm kidding, Corvette fans, we could be friends. I'm kidding.
The reason I asked that question is, you can tell a lot about someone, the serial question, you can tell a lot about someone like that. Like, I know that Gary, I can joke with you about some of the most stupidest off the wall shit, but with John, I know I can be like, yo, so guess what NASA just said? And John's gonna be like, what? Fucking tell
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
Like
100%. 100%.
That's funny.
I'd
and then
be
you're gonna
like,
be like,
yeah.
but with cars, the reason I structure the question that way is I want to see where your brain goes. Do you immediately say like kind of a mass-produced car that you're told to like? No offense to everybody that's like, I like Camaros. I like some of them too,
You
but I
vanilla
wanna
motherfucker.
know but I wanna know, I'm listening for, do you tell me a year? Do you tell me the color? Do you tell me, what you need on it, what you don't want on it, etcetera? So, like, mine, I've always loved Chevelles and Novas and stuff, but anything? Oh, bitch. I would like either a 67 or a 69 GTO satin black with the lights up and down, like, that, I want that. But it needs to be modern because I can't drive stick shift. So and air conditioning because I live in Oklahoma. But
Right.
I'm looking for things like that. And
Okay.
so the last question, usually I'll ask, what
Do
was your
you
favorite
like brown
cartoon as a
people?
kid?
And then it's like,
Yes.
that's a good way to tell if they should be on the jury or not. Are you a Nazi?
Mm.
Is it that simple or no?
I mean, that's a
No.
great question, but in Oklahoma, they're gonna go, well, that depends on your
Oh
definition
my
of that.
god.
Like I gotta get this going. That depends on your definition of what we're talking about. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, what kind of brown person are we talking about here?
right. Right. All right. What's the fifth secret question to know if someone's worthy of being on a jury and is going to be fair?
Usually it depends. If it's a lady, I will ask like, what's your favorite kind of dog? Like, what's your favorite kind of dog? With a guy, I don't ask that because they almost every time I had to roll my eyes. Sorry, let me put my eyes back down. They'll German Shepherd or like they want to be tough, so they'll give that answer. A lady's always gonna give that. With a guy, I'll usually say, "What's your favorite animal?" Because depending on, well, you all tell me, what's your favorite animal?
Dogs.
Cats.
Okay.
Cats. I love cats. I mean, I like dogs too, though.
So John just told me that he's really petty. And that he will 100% hold a grudge if you don't feed him on time. But what that tells me too,
100%.
like if John got chosen for the jury, I'd be like, okay, so John likes cats. So here's the thing. You need to peg it so that he is immediately petty at the other side. Like you need to tweak your arguments so he's petty at the other side, because if you can get him petty over there, then you get his vote. With dogs, if you said dogs are your favorite animal, then that tells me that you're very loyal and you are going to be mindful of what everybody else says. But your other answer about thinking out of the box tells me that even though you're going to listen to what other people say, you're still going to go with your gut instinct.
Guilty.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, guilty. So
Well,
I asked those questions in dating as well.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's fun. That's super fun.
Cool.
And
That's cool.
then so you're asking these questions. Are you also looking for the color as well as the answer?
Mhm.
Right?
So, like, let's say in an area where I'm sitting in a courtroom, because usually in jury consulting, I'm sitting in the back, right? And then we go and we compare notes and so on and so forth. I'm not sitting up front. So I'm going to be like, all right, okay, well, John's voice, John's voice is John's voice is red, which tells me he's an action guy. You gotta really get him with the action and the petty aspect. And let's say we got Susan over here, and Susan's voice is magenta, right? So that tells me that she's a peacemaker until she's ready to punch you in the face, and there's no way to know which one she's gonna be. And she gives me all these other answers, and as she's talking, her voice gets smaller. That tells me that she's hiding stuff. The reason I ask those questions is because they're very disarming. The whole time y'all are answering, you're laughing and joking and like really thinking about stuff. So then if I was like, okay, what do you think about the death penalty? So I've already gotten how your voice looks to me with you answering honestly about everything and something exciting and something you don't like and things. So now when I ask you about the death penalty, or I ask you about, do you think people should be able to go in and just steal your TV? If I see your voice do this, then I know you're lying. So then I can be like, nope, don't pick that one. So,
Right.
yeah, I judge off the color of the voice. I judge off how big or small the voice is and the answers. So, yeah, I haven't been wrong yet.
That's fascinating to me.
I would like to be at some point.
All right.
I would like to be at some point.
All right, I want to steer. That was super fun, by the way. That was unbelievable. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know that was a thing we're gonna get to. That I love
Yeah,
it.
it's cool. Love it.
And,
Yeah,
and as we're
definitely.
talking about using your ability for a real practical purpose here, right? So, look, temporal lobe epilepsy, has a long history of being linked to oracles and seers and in this world that we're all playing in here. It's like, what did you find, Blue, in your research that made you go, okay, this is not a coincidence? And how has that framed you as a shaman and a practitioner, a shamanic practitioner in this world, knowing these, okay, this is part of who I am, and this is now what I have to do. Does that make
So
sense?
I didn't. Yes, it did. It did. And it's a fantastic question. Um, I really didn't know. Well, I didn't know I had epilepsy till like really early 2015. I was always just told, "Oh, you got migraines. It's fine. You got migraines." So I have always been an obsessive researcher. I've written a ton of books and things like that. I am obsessive, like it's a problem with research. So when they were like, "Okay, well, we're pretty sure you have temporal lobe epilepsy. We're gonna get you in for this test," which sucks, by the way. I went home and was like, "All right, what the fuck is this?" And looking at first all the list of people that have had it, like Prince. I mean,
It's serious shit.
son of a bitch, it just fell out of my brain, but there's a whole bunch of famous people, artists, things like that. I was like, "Okay, tracks, tracks, tracks," And then they started talking about there's a type of seizure that is a euphoric seizure. And everybody, when I describe this, they're like, "Oh my God, that sounds great." It is the worst thing to ever have happened to you. I've had it happen twice. So it's like you suddenly are filled with this idea that you know everything. Like you're walking up to the edge of the cliff, and at the cliff is like everything you could ever want to know about everything, right? And as soon as you get to the edge, you're yanked back, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But then you cry for like 5 minutes straight because you were right there, right? But when you think about that and they look at all the different saints and popes and things like that, and they're like that had religious experiences, it falls into every single thing that seizure is. So then I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. And I thought, well, wait a minute, because they kept mentioning the oracles of Delphi. And so, well, okay, why are the oracles of Delphi mentioned with temporal lobe epilepsy? In so many different cultures, and it's not just one in particular. If you showed sign of epilepsy as a kid, they took you to the temple. Like you were chosen. They took you to the temple. They trained you to use this ability. The oracles of Delphi are like the most famous ones, but they kept them screwed up all the time by burning lotus in the temple. So that lowers the seizure threshold, and therefore they would have more visions. So then I fell down the rabbit hole with that. And I'm like, oh my God. And I found out that the way that we treat it here in the United States, like it's a stigma. So if I tell anybody, like, I have epilepsy, they're like, oh God, do I put something in your mouth? And I'm like, actually, I may have a seizure and you won't even know I had a seizure. Like unless you really, really know me and you know my eyes really well, I've learned to mask it so good over the years. I could have one and you will never know. It's not a drop seizure. But every single other culture treats that like You are seeing another timeline. You are seeing another world. You're seeing the beyond or whatever. And they hone those gifts and those abilities. So it makes me sad to see the way that we treat things like that. They treat schizophrenia different. They treat, all of the neurospicy wonderland different in other cultures. And I 100% think that that helps tremendously. I think it helps tremendously with what I do for a living. I do a lot of astral travel and travel for people, etc. And I think that because I know myself and my brain and what I can do to break it just a little bit safely, and do what I need to do, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
I think it allows me to get better information.
Okay. No, we're gearing into that quantum question, John. We're almost there because it's wonderful. You're taking us right there.
He's over there
Did you
doing
see my brain going
You're taking us there.
I
So
was trying to I didn't wanna get in trouble with Gary, so I was like, I'm
no,
trying
no,
not
no,
to go
no.
there yet. Okay.
You're not gonna get in trouble with me, but it's like I want people to take the steps. I want you to take us
Well,
to the
because
steps that
once I ask that question, we're going in a completely different direction.
and it's also I
So
want people to
it's
understand it because I'm sure there's some people watching like me who are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's like, "What does this mean?" And so, all right, so talk to me about your practice as an you founded Omni Reiki, and you hold over 120 certifications, which that feels like overkill. I mean, how many do we really need to be a Reiki master? What becomes are you like a third degree Reiki master? Or like, what is that? 120? What are we doing? And what does that mean exactly in terms of what you were just talking about, astral projection? What are you doing with your
Okay.
clients or the people who come to you for help? What is the process there?
So so we'll talk about the energy work and stuff first, and then we'll talk about the other part because that's like a two-part question. So, in 2013, I woke up on New Year's and I was like, you know what? I am not going to make any New Year's resolutions because I like tacos and I don't care if I'm fat. Like I don't care. So I'm not gonna exercise and I'm not gonna I'm gonna exercise walking my ass to the refrigerator, right? So I was like, you know what? How about if I just learn stuff instead? And remember when I mentioned that I was an obsessive researcher? So I was like, I'm either going to learn 3 small things, like maybe a 1-hour class or something like that, or one big thing. And that first year, I earned, I want to say 23 different certifications because I was like, oh, I like this. So since then, that's what, 13 years now, that's been my goal every year. I either learn 3 new things or one big thing. So, like, I have my esthetician license. And the 120, it's like 124, I think. Those are just energy work and Reiki certifications. So, in 11 different forms of Reiki, I am a master teacher or grandmaster, um, which means there is 4 to 5 levels on each one of those different things. And then with my own, I found that neurospicy people, it's caffeine works differently on neurospicy people than it does normal people. So do frequencies. So this is why ASMR is like a huge thing and why every neurospicy person has their favorite form of it. So with Omni Reiki, not only do I do several different things from different forms of Reiki, I do a lot of mudras with my fingers for energy channeling and so on. And then I also play certain frequencies, even though it's Viking music, behind the frequencies that are underneath that ping something in here. Then you've got the bracelets and all the things working together. So it's not for a neurospicy person having to lay still on a table for 30 to 40 minutes is torture. Like it's absolute torture. You're not going to walk away. You're either going to walk away feeling exhausted because you didn't get a full nap, or you're going to be mad that you had to lay there and you couldn't like get on your phone or whatever.
Wait,
So
you're
the
laying
form of
there?
Reiki I practice
You're
is
the one
really
laying there or the client is laying there?
the client.
quiet.
The
Yeah.
client's laying there and
Usually in
you're
traditional Reiki, yeah, it's very quiet, it's very calm,
yeah.
it's kind of dark, and some people do hands-on. I do hands-on Reiki or they hover above or whatever, and, you go to sleep or so on, but a lot of people that are on the spectrum, that have ADHD, like any of that, that's torture. Like, to lay
Okay.
still like that is torture. So I did it that way on purpose. And then with the other aspect, remind me the second part of your question.
Well, what do you discover when you're doing that from somebody? Because I'm assuming because of all of your medical synesthesia and and now all of your certificate, what are
Uh-huh.
you seeing when they're just lying there and being at their calmest? What is that telling you about them?
So if I'm physically, like if you and I are physically in a room and I physically have my hands on your chest, I am seeing layers of color. Like the longer my hands are on you, the more these layers pop up. So if you're on my website, then you saw the drawings that I do of
Yes.
people. So then I'm reading that. A lot of times too, when I have my hands on somebody, like I can put my hands on your shoulders, hold your hand for a minute and be like, what the hell's wrong with your foot? Like, why is your left foot hurting? Why is my left foot hurting? I had an actor that I worked on one time, just literally had my hands on his shoulder as I'm standing behind him, and I'm like, "Dude, I can't close my jaw. Like, what's up with your jaw? I can't close my jaw. It fucking hurts. Like, what's up?" He came out of his chair. He's like, "How do you know that? How do you know that?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. Like, it's your jaw. Like, it just mine won't close now that I got my hands on you." And he started tearing up and his girlfriend walked away. I was like, "Oh God, don't tell your girlfriend I just made you cry. Like, I don't want to be that person." And he started telling me some stuff about, some panic stuff, how, all this stuff. He was like, "I don't know how you knew that." So, and I can't explain how that is a thing. Like, if I were to sit and hold your hand for a minute without knowing anything about you, it would probably take me maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And I could be like, all right, what's wrong with this? I can peg the different areas in my body where I feel that you're hurting, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
if it's over video, that's a little different. I gotta channel a little bit longer. So
Okay. So this connection to this energy that you not only see, but you feel on multiple levels,
mhm,
emotional, medical, physical, right? That's what's happening with all the
mhm,
different practices that you're
right.
doing. Uh, Connects you to this. Does that now, where does that lead you in terms, and that's with the living.
Yeah,
Have you connected in any way to spirit through this?
a lot, a lot.
So
I feel
what
like it makes it easier for me to connect.
Okay, so what do you think then spirits are?
Do you want the spiritual answer, the scientific answer, or the Bodhi answer?
I want the Blue Bodhi answer.
I
I
want
wanna know
yeah,
what I
I
want
want the
you
blue
think
answer.
they are.
Because mine is in the middle.
Based on
I
how you experience it, what do you think that
uh
is? When you walk into a room and it's like, "There's a fucking ghost here," how do you know it, and what do you think that
mhm.
ghost is? How would you define it?
So if I walk in a room and I'm like, "Oh, there's peoples in here." Usually I get the feeling first of like, "Okay, this is a good room or this is a bad room." Like immediately my brain is like, "Yes or no. I wanna be in here or I'm out. Like I don't wanna be in here at all." And then I kinda go from there. But just based on my own experiences, what I experienced, over there and things like that, I believe that spirits, ghosts, whatever you wanna call them, are in between. When we die, we don't really die. And it's easier for us to come back and talk to people and so on. So just like people here get upset, they get mad, they get petty, they get whatever, something's unfinished, they're that way in the afterlife or whatever as well. I also have run up against, a lot of things that can't be explained, whether you'd want to call them demons or elementals or whatever. I've come against some really nasty shit that um has caused me to be like a weird TV character. I have 23 lines of ancient Enochian down my back from like neck to the base of my waist. And so things like that react differently to me now. But I fully believe that yes, there are people that are still here that come back and forth, etc. And then I believe that there's other things that I don't think the human brain actually has a good way to describe. I think we just call them demons or elementals or whatever because there's not really a name that we have for them. I
And
tell
are you
people
experiencing this in color as well? Is it a different
sometimes,
spectrum of color or light?
yeah, yeah, sometimes. Um, I find that as I'm getting older, that's happening more and more and more. I can walk into a building, I can touch a building and get a color and be like, "Oh, I don't wanna go in there," or, "Ooh, let's go in that one," you know? So, I went to Crescent Sanatorium this last summer, and, walking up and touching the different buildings, there were a couple I was like, "No," like, "Absolutely not." They actually had to talk me into going into the tunnels. I was like, "I don't want to." Like, the thing down there and we aren't friends. Like, I don't wanna go down there. And, they talked me into going, and I was like, I'm out. First way out, I'm out. Like, I don't wanna be down here." But
So you're sensing them. Are you do
that
you
thing
is
was
there a
brown.
communication there though? Or are you just sensing it? Or is there a real back and forth?
No, there's communication. Mhm. Yeah, there's communication. What's really funny is too, um, when I'm scheduled to go to a paranormal location, I have a lot of friends that are on teams, up in the Northeast and stuff, and, I'll go into one of their live streams while they're there, and while they're using a spirit box or whatever, I popped in a live stream with, Shauna, who is with, Unique Paranormal, and it said, "She's here." And then another voice answered, "Who is?" And someone said, "The blue one." And Shauna was like, "Are you serious right now?" And it was like, "Hi, hi, hi, hi." And it was like, "Bodhi, Bodhi." And she was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, what's going on?" She has called me from places and been like, "You're being asked for." I'm like, "I don't know what these bitches are talking about in the afterlife, but, like, I'm trying to sleep. Like, I need you like, I need you to not." But it's beginning to happen more and more and more.
That's wild.
So it was so do you think by the time you're 40 years old, you'll come into your full power?
I mean, one can only hope. And I love you for saying that I'm not 40 yet. I just turned 49 Monday.
Yeah, I know, I saw the video, that's why hey, happy birthday, by the way.
Wow, happy
Like, I gotta
birthday.
think of something, like, epic to do for my 50th
Okay.
birthday. I'm teasing
Yeah.
everybody that I'm gonna get a blue mohawk for my 50th, like, we'll see. We might go full on Rick and Morty with less portals, I don't know.
Yeah, right? Rick and Morty. Hey, yeah, don't get a mohawk. I was gonna bring that up, when we end the color the whole color talk. Your hair is awesome. You grew that you had
Oh,
it blue and then you grew it out, I'm guessing?
no.
She
Or
just
No,
does
did
the
you dye
I
tips.
it?
She
yeah,
does the tips,
yeah,
bro.
Those are
yep,
more than just the tips,
But you know
dude.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, your hair is awesome. The great color, like that
yeah.
mermaid color. It's nice. It's
All
nice.
right.
Well, thank you.
Let's now, John,
I
go
love it.
for it. Ask your question because now we're talking about energy. No, we've got. You took us here, and
What
we're
was my
talking.
question again? No.
It was we were talking about quantum physics, astral projection, and then now she brought up these sort of entities that we don't know what it is. So how do these pieces come
Mhm.
together in terms of your love for quantum physics and how that plays into everything?
Well, that's listen, the cosmic perspective, right? The cosmic perspective. If you love space, anything like that, you generally have I've never met somebody who didn't like space that didn't have a cosmic perspective, even
Mhm.
no matter what. So do you, Bodhi, think that there is a serious connection between the spiritual and the cosmic perspective that astrophysicists and science has not yet caught up with?
I mean,
And do you,
100%.
and there's a two-part question to this. And do you think
In
that
27 subparts.
and do you think that if and once these connections are starting to be made by science, that it'll break through to more of our realm of existence and what we do with you, with your craft, and myself with, spirits?
We are so friends. You don't even
Yeah,
know. We
I know,
just
but it's
let
all
it
good.
happen. We are so friends. Um, I So I follow all the woo-woo stuff on social media, and I also follow, like, all of the quantum physics stuff. So I love the fact that a lot of things that they're proving in quantum physics now actually prove things in the spiritual realm, like quantum immortality and, like, the slit experiment and so on.
Mhm.
And I'm a big fan of black holes and a big fan of, like, all the shit to deal with them. So like I said, I was writing to NASA at 8, and someone there took pity on a poor little kid, right? And I was the cool kid in school, let me just tell you, because I had a packet this thick from NASA where they sent me all of this, like, DOS matrix printed out stuff redacted about black holes, right? So I took that to school like I was the coolest shit, right? But I've always been obsessed with them. And so, like, Interstellar is one of my favorite movies because of all of the things that
Oh
it
my
deals
god,
with it.
sure.
So I
Great
really have
movie.
paid a lot of attention lately when
Cried
they've
like a
come out and
baby.
said, "Hey," this was 2021, I think end of 2021 when they came out and said, "We have seen 2 black holes colliding," like, they're and of course, that's however billion, million, gazillion years old, just now getting here. And so then me spiritually, I'm like, okay, well, if we don't really know what a black hole is, what happens to it, et cetera, how is that going to affect us? So I have watched, because I've been in the spiritual realm since like 2012, 2013, like full hardcore, like all in.
Mhm.
Um, I've watched since 2021 how the spiritual everything has just shifted and changed. I've watched the uptick in the paranormal, like insane upticks, and there's no rhyme or reason, but it's just like bam, bam, bam. I've watched the mass awakenings that people are like, oh my god, there's a mass awakening. I'm like, yeah, there is, bitch. I've watched the Schumann. I've watched all those things. I also watched the things from NASA where they're like, all right, CERN is now doing this, and CERN is now doing this, and I listen to the conspiracies. I listen to the scientific part. And I think that everything is somewhere in the middle. Like, just like they can't explain in the slit experiment why, when you don't watch what the particles are doing, they do whatever the fuck they want. And why, when you watch, they're like, oh, we're just going to go right here and be a good little line. In my opinion, quantum physics, the multiverse theory proves the string theory, which proves the bubble theory, which proves the multiverse theory. Like, they all just kind of do this and they all prove simulation theory at the same time. And so, yeah, I am that conspiracy nerd. I'm like,
Mhm.
I feel like it all proves itself. And so every time quantum physics or some astrophysicist comes out and says, oh, well, with quantum immortality, like blah, 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 I'm like, well, I mean, all the woo-woo people have been saying that for like centuries, man. Like, I don't like catch up with the times, Holmes. So that's the Bodhi opinion.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, listen, I couldn't agree more, which is and I had a feeling that you were gonna have a very right when you started talking about, I wanted to be an astronaut, I'm like, "We're gonna be friends," right? Right off the bat, I knew it.
Can
So
you
oh,
oh,
yeah,
go
go ahead, Gary, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so, Bodhi, can you give me a real a story, an example of how you combine all of these elements of yourself, the spiritual, the synesthesia, the astral, the quantum physics person when a client comes in, is this part of, like, what the Black Horse Project is, or, like, when somebody comes in for help from you? What is somebody who's come
I
in,
like that
asked
you
for
called
your
it the
help,
Black Horse Project.
what is somebody, comes in for your aid for you to help them, and then can you share a real life example of and then how you've seen that growth in that person using all of these
Mhm.
elements?
So some of the best examples actually are kids. I really, really love working with little kids. I was lucky enough that my parents, when I was like, hey, there's a monster in my room, or, this happened, my parents were like, oh my God, just go back to bed. My dad was like, well, let's go find it. Like, it wasn't, let me go fix it. It was like, let's go find it. Like, let's trap it. That was my dad, right? Like, let's set up some traps. Like, my kids and I tried to trap the tooth fairy, like things like that. But so I had parents that believed me when I said, "Hey, there's a big shadow man in my room," after this weird dream where I was in a castle. So, there's a lot of kids that have the ability to travel. A lot of neurospicy people astral travel in their sleep more than they actually sleep. And I know some people in the comments are gonna ask or whatever, but if you wake up more exhausted than you went to bed all the time. If you wake up and everything is black, you don't remember dreaming. Those are 2 hallmark signs that you travel more than you actually sleep. Um, if you have a lot of things during the day that happen that you're like, I think this is deja vu, but I don't know. There's no dream to tie it to. Hallmark. So people bring little kids to me and they're like, they have night terrors, they have this, they're saying there's a guy in their room, blah, 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 blah. So I talk to the kiddo. I do this in person, I do it, Zoom or whatever. I talk to them and I'll tell them. So the reason I came up with the black horse, I should have worn a tank top so you could see, but I actually have a big black horse tattooed right there. That is what the woo part of me, that is what I use to travel to the astral. That's my mode of transportation there. So I tell these kids, first of all, hey, like that's my home away from home, man. So you put a black horse beside your bed. I don't care if you just draw it as a stick figure and you need me, I will come get you. Like, I've got you. Don't be afraid. I will come get you. Okay. I do this for adults and kids. So those of you adults out there that are like, well, I want to do that. Yeah. Um, but since I started doing that in 2015, 2016, I cannot tell you how many people tell me all the time, "Dude, you came and got me in my sleep. You came and got me in my sleep." Most of the time when they say, "You were in my dream," I'm like, "Dude, tell me to go home because 'cause I'm tired. Like, tell me to go home." But I mean, there's probably over 1,000 people at this point that have been like, "Hey, thank you. I got too far out there. You came and got me. I'm sleeping better. The thing in my room is gone." Like, and educating people on those things. That really, that is my favorite thing to do with helping people because a lot of times people don't understand, like, Monsters, Inc., the movie Monsters, Inc. is it's pretty right on, like, the astral is a fucked up version of Monsters, Inc., and, things will piggyback and come back with you, so when a kid says, like, "Hey, there's a big shadowed thing in my room with a cloak on, and all I can see is its eyes," I immediately am like, "Okay, that kid's traveling, and there's a straggler, we gotta get rid of it." Like, I can immediately tell. Um, I also I usually don't this is not something I like to do because it wears the shit out of me, but, I've had a few times where I've had to go get someone. Like, I've had to stop what I was doing during the day because someone, well, I can tell you about one of my moderators, Scarly. She has a lot of, like, autoimmune diseases and so on, and we didn't know that she was in the hospital one day. Um, they couldn't wake her up after surgery. She had, like, a something happened. They really did not it wasn't looking good. And her daughter called and was like, "Hey, can you do something? Like, what can you do? Like, please don't let my mom die, like, help me, please." So I stopped what I was doing. I was on a live stream of all things. I stopped what I was doing. I'm in the shop. I go in, I do a candle. I'm sitting there doing all the things and so on. And then afterwards, I was like, "Y'all, I gotta go. I gotta go home and lay down." So I got off my live stream, went home, and lay down. And the next morning, Scarly messaged and she was like, "I don't know what you did." She was like, "I don't know where I was." She was like, "All I know was it was really dark. And then suddenly I heard your voice telling me to come back with you." And she was like, "And if you hadn't shown up, I don't know that I would have come back." I've done that for a lot of people too. But I also slept for 3 days after that. Like, it's not, I wish I could do it for everybody, but like, it's a lot. Like, people don't realize that shamanic work is not just like, "Oh, I've got my hair in dreads and I wear beads," and, like, it's not that, like,
No, it's your
doing
hair is
things
in
in the
blue
astral
and you've
takes
got
a lot
beads.
out of but, the word shaman means spirit walker, and so you are dealing with the things in the other realms, not just, across the veil in all of the different realms over there, so it's a lot, it's a lot. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
No, no, that's a great no, I was curious what people come to you for, and it seems like, there is some sort of hurdle.
Everything.
Right, and then that this is sort of the direction that you're using to help them get through it, right? I've met with on this podcast, as I'm learning about it, from QHHT therapy to, medium grief, grief counselors that are more mediums, that is more
Mhm.
straight spirit. Now, this is sort of another different path to get over some hurdle in your life in for whatever is happening, whether it's your consciousness or an outside force or an energy that is doing it, which is always, as we're trying to
You see
talk
that?
about, the underlying theme here of spirit, right? What is it? You
Oh,
know?
you just went you just did something just happen in your space there?
I asked if you saw that. There was something that started right here and went like that, and then my camera did that.
Yeah, yep, I saw you get distracted and I saw your camera go.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sorry for talking about the astral. Calm down.
It's amazing.
Those pesky interdimensionals,
What
you know?
Ah.
what do you where do you think this kind of work is headed over the next decade? As we discover new things and new has technology ever changed your business, what we're discovering? Where do you think this goes?
Technology-wise, like, I absolutely love the spirit boxes, like, I love them. I think that that is one of the biggest advancements technologically for, paranormal anything. I love a lot of the equipment, like, I have way too much at this point. Um, but one of the problems I see with it, and this is something I tell people all the time, you don't know, like, if you can't see somebody right in front of you, you can't see them doing it, like, there's a lot of con artists. There always have been snake oil salesmen, but now with ChatGPT and, all of those things, like, you can fake
Mhm.
read for somebody at any point. But I I am not a big fan of using too much technology in something just because I've also watched, on social media that people use Chat GPT and things like that for readings. Like well, what is it, with this and this and this. Now, I will use Chat GPT because when I travel, it's like a logic puzzle. And so, over the years, I've trained myself that while I'm traveling, I'm speaking out loud what I'm seeing. And sometimes it's not like, "Oh, I'm walking through a golden meadow with yellow poppies." And, it's not like that. It's like, "Oh my god, there's a pink elephant. Why is it upside down? Why is there a pyramid that's on my left? It's orange, now it's green, now it's turquoise." Like, I'll say those things. So then I used to have to go through and write it down. Okay, orange pyramid, now it's green, and then search all of those things. So now I have a program, I have my ChatGPT program where I can be like, "Hey, here's the transcript. Can you tell me the spiritual meaning of all these things?" And so instantly it'll pull that up. So I love it for that, but I don't know. I don't know. Would I love to see something that allows us to actually step through a portal and see the other realm? Yes, but I've also watched Stranger Things. So like maybe not, and
Right, right.
you know, I
What
see
what do
I
you
see
want your
people all
legacy
the
to
time with
be?
attack.
What do you want your legacy to be, Blue, for in this world, in this space?
So just because of my experiences when I died, um, I know that when I croak, when I'm gone, I can still come get you. So that's another reason why I created the Black Horse Project. That's another reason why.
She rides it on her mighty steed.
Man.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Alright.
I I want people to see spirituality in a different way instead of just like in the paranormal community, the spiritual community, and Hollywood, all of those things, you're looked at as either very, very reputable, or you're a crackhead. Like, there's really no in between, right? There's no in between. But the vast majority of people are in between, like we're
Mhm.
all a little crazy. You got to be a little crazy to want to go into, that burnt out asylum and talk to the little girl hanging from the rafters. Like, you got to be a little crazy, right? You got to be a little crazy to want to go to Hollywood and film the craziest things ever. Like, you have to be. Everything is in between. Like, one of the things that I really hate about the paranormal is that everybody thinks that if it's haunted, it's bad.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
the case. Like, that's
Oh,
not
it's
the
so
case.
annoying. That's why I
Yes.
make it a point to go to places that are quote unquote boring. Like these like the Terrytown House Estate, for example,
Mhm.
prime example. You go there, there is nothing evil there, nothing bad. There are interdimensionals, there's things there, but nothing that'll push you down the stairs, right?
Right.
And that's what people want, unfortunately. And it's like, but that's
Yes.
not the real paranormal. The real paranormal is just, yes, there's bad, there's evil, there's ugh, but then there's also like awesome.
Mhm.
There's, like, incredible. So, yes, I agree with you, like, you wouldn't believe.
That's one of the reasons, the property that I bought in Pennsylvania, that's one of the reasons that I bought that property. I have never been in a place that I felt like that in. And so having teams in there this last fall and everything, I do we have a little trickster down there that's there's a weird part of the underground that goes up under the street? Like, yes, his name is Jerry. He even gives you a New York call sign. It's so funny. Like, is he kind of a trickster? Yes. Is there there's a gentleman in the boiler room that I'm just like, hey, just knock before you go in. Like, he doesn't like chicks being in there. So I'm always like, knock, 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 like, hey, we're just gonna come through. Like, dudes, he's cool with, but chicks, not so much, which, I get it. But the sheer amount of entities that are there, beings that are there, people that are there, like things like that. Everybody that has come in is like, holy shit. Like, the sheer amount of just conversation that you can have in there is amazing. And part of the reason I bought it is because I was like, I can't let this place A, get torn down, and B, go to something or someone that's going to treat it like shit, like it had been. And I want people to be able to experience that not everything is just evil, bad. Like, come to the reliquary. Like the Reverend will stand at the top of the stairs. I walk by and I do this. I point at him like I'm not looking at you because you creep me out. But come talk to the little kids. Come nerd around the cemetery. Like all of those things. I want you to know that that's not what that's not what all the paranormal is. And unfortunately, when a place gets a reputation for that, then that egregore gets built up, and then everybody sees the man with no
Ooh, I like
eyes
that
or,
word. I know what that
whatever.
is. We learned that
Yep.
word.
Yep,
That's,
yep, yep. Yeah,
right.
everybody sees the man with no eyes.
The manifestation where the group manifests the
Yeah.
spirit for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
We talked about that. First of all, the Blue Bodhi, thank you so much for your time today. Tell people what's
Welcome.
next for you. Do you have any events coming up? Where can you can find it at thebluebodhi.com. Everything is in the link tree in our bio to connect with Blue to get you offer like private readings, things like that. People can go to you. They can do that online or what?
They can. Every single Monday night at 8:30 Central, so 9:30 Eastern, I do a full Reiki session. I do it live, TikTok and YouTube. I also read for the zodiacs for the week, give you a cheat sheet of how your week's gonna go, so you kind of have the cliff notes, etc. So far this year, I'm booked for Creep It Real, which is in June, and then the Gettysburg Bash, which is in July. I have a whole bunch of other ones that are in the works, but nothing is contracted yet. I will be working at the Reliquary a lot this summer. I have a big project that I can't really say anything about yet, but you just want to make sure that you that you watch for it. Like, just saying. So
Well,
yeah.
follow the Blue Bodhi on all of social media and on her website. And you can keep track of what she's up to. Get yourself a reading if you can. This was absolutely super fun. What a great way to do a Thursday night live.
Oh, thank you. It's
I
been a
hope you had a good
blast. Like
time.
my face hurts because I'm smiling so much. Like,
That's good. That's our goal. We want to keep our guests happy. Before you split, let's just see. We always ignore the chat a little on our lives when we have a guest. We had a lot of people chime in. Does anybody have a good question for Blue or us while we're here? What do you got? What about you guys on Instagram? There are a few of you. Instagram's always weird, dude. It's like it's always got some glitch in it. But YouTube, Facebook, friends. Anybody have anything to say? Bodhi, have you ever taken mushrooms? Does that fuck up everything if you do?
I found out the hard way that I can't do that. So it exacerbates the synesthesia to a level that I got violently, violently ill. Even the air had a color. I was seeing fractals, which was really cool. But I can't. I can't because it's already like a constant psychic trip most of the time. I can close my eyes, it's still there. And yeah, mushrooms make it really bad. Really, really
There you
bad.
go,
Like I
Venomous
was
Rider. Hope that
seriously
answers
ill.
that question. Um,
Did you see that one?
can you
Please tell
teach
me y'all are
where
seeing this.
what what does where does somebody start? Like if you were going to tell somebody who wants to get with all your, look, you got so many uh credits in this and you've mastered so many things. Someone who's new to it wants to learn about it. Where do they go? What's the first thing they should read, do, look at, study to break in or to understand
If
it?
they wanna get into energy work and really anything spiritually, even if you know you're never gonna use it on somebody else, learn Omni Reiki 1. Not Omni Reiki, excuse me, Usui Reiki 1. That is the original old school version. That will attune you to a lot of other energies. It will make you a little more sensitive with paranormal things, with your own clairs and gifts and abilities and so on, and you can find classes for that super cheap. I think I've got the first level on my website for, like, $11.
Um, oh, there you heard it there first. Renee Elizabeth on Instagram, you missed the beginning of this, but she sort of did give us a slight read on our colors and talk about that. But anybody who missed this live, we redrop them. We redrop it first thing tomorrow morning, so it'll be available wherever podcasts are available. Right here, or you can rewatch it here on YouTube. But the live will be dropped on Spotify, on YouTube, everywhere, Apple. So even if you missed it or you showed up late, you can check out the whole thing. John, I got nothing else. This was so super fun.
This was great. She's awesome.
It's
Yeah,
so
she's awesome.
awesome. So
Well,
fun for
listen,
us.
I've set it up. I set it on my live stream too, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it here. when it comes to the spiritual TikTok, you are my equivalent to the paranormal, right?
Aw.
Like we go through the same things in our
Mhm.
chat, like you wouldn't believe. The same way you have people that what do they do? They is it backriding or they like when you're in the middle of doing something, they'll try to come in and they'll be typing in the chat and they'll try to give that person a read to,
Yep.
and they I deal with the same things. We deal. It's
Mhm.
funny, but just on different levels. But we literally deal with the same stuff.
Yep.
People and the snake oil salesmen, if you will, the people that are just trying to scam for the followers and trying to make money off people. We deal with the same thing. It's actually very wild. So, but
I
she's
tell
awesome.
people
You know,
I tell people I've really cultivated my following. Like in April will be 6 years that I've been on TikTok. I've really cultivated my following. I tell people like I only have a couple of rules. Like one, like don't be a creep or a jerk because even creeps don't like creeps and jerks don't like jerks. Like don't
mhm.
co-read. Like
Don't yes,
instantly
yes,
that is a
that's what
mute.
it was. The
Mhm. That is
co-reading.
a mute, and my moderators will screenshot your account and your comment,
Mhm.
and guess what? I do have time. I am the one. I do have time. I will find you. Like, and I usually say, like, "You
Wow.
see the frogs? Like, that's me, bitch."
Yeah.
Or and I say, "I don't talk politics in here. I don't give a
Mhm,
shit what
mhm.
side you're on. Right
Yep,
now,
yep.
in this moment, all of that is out there. Like, right
Yeah.
now, we're gonna concentrate on being okay, you know? And
Yes.
then,
Uh,
the other one, I love when I call him Doctor Love and stuff, the Doctor Spellcast or whatever. I'm like,
yeah.
"Ooh, it's a Doctor Love and stuff," you know? But I've gotten to where now, um, I will get real quiet and I'll get close and I'll be like, "Guess what, boo? Like, energy is energy. Like, even when you come in here with a troll account, like, I
Uh-huh.
can still reach out
Yes.
and touch you."
Yeah. You
Like
know, it's so funny because you could probably tell the same people that are doing it.
Mhm,
It's the same ones that come in and do it. Where you're using your abilities, I'm
mhm.
using my abilities of the way people speak in the chat
That.
to
Yep.
say,
I'm seeing
hey,
a real vengeful
Mhm.
color here, guys, about
yeah,
all these haters. Like all this color looking real, a little bit like a
yeah,
red orange vengefulness
the fiery
happening.
red.
Well, fire red.
I mean, I
Uh,
have my mug that says, "Let's go fuck shit up," so there's
yeah,
that, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But, I
What's
mean,
that?
I'm sure John understands, like, when you're on there for any length of time, after a while, like, you just wanna scream at people like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yes, and
Like,
you can't,
you
but you
know,
want to.
you have to
You
still
want
be
yes,
Mhm,
yes, but you want, but you can't.
mhm,
But every now and then it'll get to the point where, especially if I'm doing Shaba, my Shaba is I sit there with a bottle of Don or Patron, and I just I go to town, right? And I sit there, I'll kill the whole bottle right on the live. Once I get to a certain point, then it's all bets are off. Then I will turn around and I will be it is people wait for it. They wait. That's the only reason why they watch the shop. But they wait for that one person to come in and say the wrong thing, and it sends me on a rant. It's funny.
Get those
It's real
spirits
funny.
I
riled
just
up.
tell everybody, like,
Yeah,
right off the bat, like, "I'm spicy Bodhi tonight." Like, just you've been warned. Like, you've
yeah,
been warned.
yeah. Oh, I have
Well,
to too. Yeah,
he does that
you
too.
have to. You
And it's
have
what's
to.
weird is he says, "Hey
Mhm.
guys, I'm spicy Bodhi tonight." That's what's really weird when he does it.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can just
I
threaten the
turn
Doctor
around and
Love
I
and
go,
stuff like, "Hey, I
yeah.
know Bodhi," like, "Bitch, I got you." So,
Yeah. I did it. I did it. What
but
was it? Last night or the night before? Oh, it was the night before. I was like, guys, listen, I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood. Here it is. This is what you're getting, and this is what we're dealing with.
Mhm,
So you gotta. It's just
mhm.
like I said. I've watched your live. I've seen what you go through in the chat, and I just look at it and I'm like, wow, wow, it's somebody else that's getting it too, and she's not even talking to spirits really. She's doing her. It's insane. It's wild.
I have
And
a
that's a
phenomenal group of
conversation, Bodhi, for
moderators.
a whole
Yeah.
nother thing.
I can't give my mods enough kudos. I have one mod that's very scary though, like, if you hit her the wrong way, like, she'll have your address, your phone number, your dog's
Mhm.
name. I'm like, "Damn, you
Yeah,
missed your calling." Like,
yeah,
"I'm glad that you like me." Like, "What the fuck just
yeah.
happened?" Like,
Well,
but I
but
think
they
people
need to
don't
be like that
realize the
because some of
amount
these
of,
people are
like,
out of their
hate and
minds,
shit.
you know?
I've had a lot
Yeah.
of stalkers. I have an
Yes.
active one right now,
Yes.
and
Yes, and they're
it's
insane,
crazy.
and they are nasty people.
Yes. I was explaining to someone, because I was looking for, like, representation, for a while, like, for bigger shows and, shit like that, and, I was explaining to someone, I said, "I have a lot of friends that are actors, a lot of big horror villains and stuff like that, and the thing is, when you see someone on TV, on a movie, or you're hearing their music, people automatically think that they live in this huge house behind gates with all this security, and they're just this big famous glitz and glamour, right? Like, I know several horror villains that drive for Uber, okay? So
Mhm.
there's that. Like, you wouldn't know that that's what they do, but they're untouchable because 'cause they're on a screen, but with a social media personality, there becomes a parasocial relationship. I'm on your phone. I'm sitting in bed with you. John is sitting on the couch
Mhm.
with you. Y'all
Mhm.
are having a beer together. We're eating chips and queso together. We're
Mhm.
bullshitting. You're in my kitchen, like, and it becomes a relationship. And so they see it like when they see you in public or whatever, you know them. They know you. Y'all have a relationship. You're friends, and so on. Um, I once had a lady, I couldn't go to my own shop for several days in a row because she flew down from Canada on a one-way ticket, expected to work at my shop and live in my house with me. And it was my son called it Operation Extractabody. And like, I paid for her a hotel room just so she would have somewhere safe to go, because also I'm like, if something happens to this woman, they're going to blame me, so like, it's insane the things that social media creators go through, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's talked about enough. The
What color
No,
was
it's
she?
hate,
not.
What color
It's
the
what color was she in terms of her aura? Like, what color did you see with someone like that?
that one, there's a certain color of red, and I'm gonna try to describe it. Y'all will know exactly what I'm talking about. So in the '80s, He-Man's, like, thing
Mhm.
that he had, if you
Yes.
watched it on a shitty
Yeah.
TV and it was kind of a neon-y red color,
Yeah.
that. If I touch your hand and I see that, there's an instant distance because that's obsession.
Yeah.
That's obsession, straight up obsession. Maybe with me, maybe with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man over there, I don't know, but that's straight up obsession. And so, like, when I'm in an event or something, the girls that are with me, anybody that's with me, I tell them right up front, like, if I say, like, here's the code word, if I say this, or if I say, hey, I just need a break, like, I've had too much, I need a break or whatever, that's your sign. Like, dude needs to go, girl needs to go. Because yeah, it's
These
scary.
boundaries. It's these boundaries, and you said it best. They're when our people, when our community is watching us, they are at home. They're on the
Mhm.
toilet. They're in the shower. They're
Yeah,
in their bedrooms. They're eating dinner. They're in their homes. They get this sense of, oh, that's John, that's
yeah,
Bodhi. And then
yeah,
some of them, and it's a very small percentage, but it's a dangerous percentage, cross that boundary.
yep,
And it is, yeah, and it's completely different for you, Blue, than me. I know you can take care of yourself,
mhm.
but what's stopping, like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
No, yeah,
it, it
yeah,
it's different for a woman than for a man that's getting stalked,
mhm,
right? Like, it's different. So, but I can only imagine, I can only imagine because I deal with it, and I know you deal with it, and it's
yeah.
just
Guys, it's tough
wild.
being it's tough being this
I've
good
had
looking.
people
It's
say,
really tough being handsome and pretty and
I
good looking.
mean,
Let's just
Mm,
let's just all talk about I mean,
I've
it's
had
a
mm,
curse. It's a curse and a burden that
yeah,
we all
Gary's
have.
got all the bitches.
To be to
yeah,
be to be on camera and this good looking is a curse.
yeah, mm.
I get it. Guys,
And
I
you
get
can't
it.
break it, and you can't
You
break the
can't,
curse.
dude. It's like,
No,
and why would you want
Yep.
if being this good looking is wrong,
I
John, I
mean,
don't wanna be
glamour
right.
is
I
a
don't
bitch,
wanna be right.
man.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Wow.
know,
What a great, I think it's like the longest live we ever did,
it is the
Gary.
longest live we ever did, and I think it did really well too. It's looking
Wow.
really well.
Yeah.
Um,
We could do this for hours. I have a feeling that we could just, you know you know, maybe we'll do a TikTok live, Blue. We'll get
Dude,
I'm
together
a
I
one of these
would
nights.
maybe you should just come visit the Reliquary sometime.
Oh, maybe is that in Pennsylvania?
It's a
Is
little
that
bit
the one
north
that's in
of Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania?
Mhm.
up in
So
I have
I'll
Pittsburgh.
a I have a
probably
cemetery waiting on you.
Oh, yeah, I might have to. Yeah, I'll message in a little bit. I might have to do that because I know it's either June or July I'm gonna be in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna be in Gettysburg, either June or July.
Are you doing the back?
Um, we have a farmhouse right, on a battlefield that I go to. So,
It's
but,
about 2 hours, 2.5, maybe 3, depending on how you drive.
yeah, is it far? Is it we'll talk
It's
details. We'll
way west.
talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
north of Pittsburgh. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So, am I yins get crazy over there, in the pits. The yins get crazy in the pits.
Yeah, I've got yeah, they say yins, I say y'all, so
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
You know, you gotta drag the side of your mouth, y'all. You gotta do that.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely get together. That sounds like fun. I do love cemeteries, you know?
I own a graveyard. There's 377 people buried out there. There's
Wow.
2 full rows of children, ton of German immigrants, ton of war veterans. We have one that's very active that, loves the ladies, and he will hug you with the dowsing rods, and it's actually really emotional when it happens. Like, it's, like, the first time it happened, I I I bawled like a bitch. I cried like a bitch because he's the same
Wow.
age as my son. You know, when he passed away, he's the same age as my son, so to get that was just because, I mean, it even when you hug an old lady and they're like, "Oh," and they do the pat, 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 like,
Yeah.
the rods would even do that, like, pat you like that, so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
John will
Wow.
go there and start cleaning some
So,
graves,
yeah.
clean some headstones. Be
Yeah,
fun.
right?
That'd be super fun.
You
Bodhi.
know, one of the reasons that I love watching Go ahead.
No, go. Tell. Finish your story.
I was gonna say one of the reasons because when you asked me to be on the podcast, like, I started nerding through your videos, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." So the ones where they make fun of you, like, I'm like, "Oh god, I feel that on a deep level, those fuckers," but
Yeah.
seeing you clean the graves and so on, one of the main reasons I bought this place is when I went to look at it, there are so many headstones that were broken, that are gone, that are leaning up against others, and when we went to go in the back door, there's a shed that someone built, and there was a rock there, and I looked down, I was like, "Is is that a headstone?" They were using a headstone as a stepping stone for this thing, and instantly I was like, "I'm buying this place. I'm buying this place." Like,
Wow.
I need to protect these people, like, I got
Yeah.
so protective so quick, and I think that's also why I miss the place, like, I am dying to get up there. I'm not going until the end of March, and I'm, like, over here, like, rocking, but to see those cemeteries treated like that and to know it's been that way so long, it's all worn, that I don't know whose stone it is. So, eventually, I would love to get someone out there with, the sonar so we can find
Oh,
where
the
things
the
are.
GPR.
Yeah.
The GPR. I might be able to help you with that, Blue. I have, there's certain things that can be said to companies out there that'll get them to come in there for little to no money to have those things done because those are big operations, those are
Yeah.
like $30,000, $40,000, but
Yeah.
there's certain things that could be said, there's certain ways that could be done where we can get it pennies to the dollar, which is great, you know? And, that's so it's a shame. I mean, listen, I mean, I'm sure you heard that crazy dude in Pennsylvania that was digging
Yes.
up the did you see that? That's insane. And they only covered parts of the story. That dude had storage lockers full of bones.
That was Brian the
Um,
Mod, right?
yeah,
No, I'm
that
kidding.
wasn't Brian the Mod. Poor
I'm
Brian.
kidding, Brian. I'm
You
kidding,
know,
Brian.
that's insane. When I
It is.
saw that, I was just like, that's somebody I would fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I caught somebody doing that in a cemetery, I
Same.
would. It would be bad. It would be very very horrible.
Like,
You
one
know,
of one
but
of my favorite things is drinking coffee in the cemetery with the spirit box on,
mm,
watching the mist roll through, but, there's a lot I think that now that that story has been so public, there's a lot of cemeteries throughout the Midwest that I've been "Did you see that? Please tell me you saw that one." That I have been in that you can tell that they've been just decimated because nobody goes
yeah,
in there anymore,
yeah,
and I don't know, like, I don't want that juju. I don't want that juju. I will protect it, I will clean it, I will do whatever,
yeah,
but hell no, I don't
yeah.
want that juju. Like, you can kinda see the little blue box right there, that's Manny. So, I have a friend who has a friend, and nobody ever picked Manny up. So I was like, "I got you, Manny, like, come on, man, you can live here." He's on every live stream, he's right there,
Oh my god.
like I can't think of anything worse than being forgotten. Like, you were
Yeah.
cremated and then forgotten. So, like, I have some things like that at the reliquary that people have gifted and so on
Yeah.
that but I don't want that juju. I ain't taking
That
any
happens.
no. Absolutely
Unfortunately, it just happens so much. I mean,
not.
it's especially, and the worst part is when somebody gets cremated or someone gets buried and they don't finish the headstone and whatnot. Usually, and a lot of the times, these people are dying one after another. So
Mhm.
you'll get a husband that'll pass away. That their ashes will stay there, and then the poor wife, she ends up passing away.
Yeah.
And then one of their ashes get forgotten. It happens a lot. There's a lot of different scenarios for it, but it's sad. It's
Well,
sad. What do you think
there's
about
just
all this, Gary? You all right?
I
You
think we
thinking
gotta
about
end
one
it
of the
I think we got
cemetery?
got
I think we
really
gotta end
quiet.
it on a better note than all this sad shit. We were like we were like up here. I don't know
All
what
right, fine.
I don't know what color we were at, but it was like bright, and now we're talking about
Now we
vandalism and
yeah,
sadness,
yeah, yeah.
and
Gary was
it's
over
like
there doing this, like,
Uh,
everybody was here. We were like, "Wow, what a great show." And
uh,
it's like, "Hey, look how shitty people are to cemeteries." It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"What is that?
People
tell
What
them
just
suck.
happened?"
tell them to
We were
shut
up
up.
here. We were up
Tell them to
here.
shut up.
It's like,
Oh man.
let's get it
Well,
back.
here. We'll end on this. Did you guys know that they turned CERN off on the 1st of the year?
Did they really?
Mhm.
Wow. Which the
Let
big one, right?
let all the conspiracy theories fly
Uh,
now.
uh. What about the one in Tennessee? Is that one still running?
I don't know. I don't follow
Yeah,
the
there's a smaller one in the States. I believe it's in Tennessee that
I
does
just
the
do this, like,
basically the same thing. I wanna make one in here. I wanna make one in this place where I'm at right now. How wild would that be?
"You crazy."
Imagine.
I'm
Imagine
down.
doing what
I'll
I
help
do and
you.
imagine doing what you do in a mini one or, that'd be insane.
So
Like, I
what if we
wonder
built
how it
one
would have.
what if we built one where you were and then built one in the reliquary, and then we could see if we could communicate back and forth? What if
Oh,
we
that'd
could
be
make 2
crazy.
black holes and communicate?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Quantum
said.
tunneling.
That's
I
it,
said.
Dude,
right. That
I
doesn't
said.
sound like that doesn't
I just
sound
read a whole
world
thing
ending.
about quantum tunneling. It creates some quantum tunneling.
I
It's
mean, Rick
amazing.
and Morty, but with less portals, we just won't have
Yeah,
a
right,
line.
exactly. Ooh-wee, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, you
Oh.
got the glasses, though, you gotta then the brown hair, you gotta be Morty.
Okay,
But I don't know who Gary
uh,
I don't know who Gary has to be. I don't know who Gary could be, though, because 'cause you're not really
I
a
don't even
Jerry,
know.
you don't strike
I've
me as
never
a
he
seen
could
a
Jerry.
Rick
be
and
he could
Morty in
be
my
Mr.
life.
Poopy Butthole. He could be Mr. Poopy Butthole.
I've
Yes,
never seen a
yes.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, that
Yeah.
hurt. Did you just say you've never seen Rick and Morty?
Never seen it.
You got to. It is one of the most intelligent cartoons. I take that back. It's one of the more intelligent shows that has ever come out. The amount of intelligence that goes into this is
And it's fucked
insane.
up.
And it's fucked up. And it's fucked up. But it's just so good. So good. I was on the edge of my seat with the whole evil Morty thing. It was nuts. Dude, half the jokes I say on my live stream come from Rick and Morty. Where do you think ooh we came from? That's Rick and Morty. That's
Gary,
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
have you always had a very loud face?
Who, me or Gary?
Gary?
Oh
I've
yeah.
had a
I'm
loud
watching down
face.
there like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Yeah, your face is so loud."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all
Uh,
my kids have Rick and Morty ringtones, and, when I met Dustin Diamond before he passed away, he went to a dispensary and brought me back a little Rick and Morty tray, and it's like one of my prized possessions. Like, it sits on my desk with my jewelry in it.
nice. Nice.
Gary, I'm
There you
gonna check
go.
in with
Cool.
you later and be like, "Have you
Mhm.
watched Rick and Morty yet? I'm gonna need you to
Yes.
watch this
Good.
episode. I need you to watch the Scary Terry episode."
Oh, that's one of the
Put it on my
well,
list.
that's one of the
Put it on my list of
It
things
is
to
not, it is not. I heard your voice. I saw your voice. It's not on your list. You ain't gonna
It's
watch it.
not. It's a total
yeah,
lie.
you're not gonna
Straight
do
up
it.
lie.
I,
It's
I
probably
I'll
never
send
gonna
him a
happen.
clip. I'll send him a clip that'll get him hooked.
Yeah,
I'll
send me a
send him
clip.
a clip
I'll
that'll get him
watch
hooked, and
clip.
he's gonna.
It's
He'll
like
be
there's so
like,
many things. I'm very listen. I'm old. I am set in my certain ways of things. Like
"No, you're
the
not
only
old."
the newest thing that I'm doing is this, and I'm reading. Like you're talking about quantum physics. It's I just picked up this. I don't know if you can read that. So it's in
Oh
shirt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that the
This
looking for the cat? Yeah,
in
yeah.
search
That's
of
yeah.
Schrodinger's cat, which is like this is
Yes,
supposed to be quantum physics for like entry level basic 101,
yes.
right? Like what everyone written for a layman, like here's how you get into it to understand
Mhm.
it. So it's like, all right. That's my next read, right? So
Yep.
as
Sugar's
this
cat.
podcast
Cat in
has
the box.
progressed and what we learn about these things, that's what I do. And it's like, all right, so
Yeah.
fucking Rick and Morty's gonna be like here, like on
Yeah,
that list.
yeah, yeah. Now,
I
once I
mean,
send you those couple of clips, you're gonna be like, "All right, I wanna watch this."
mhm.
You know.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, it's wild. It's great. Anyway, listen,
All
this has
right.
been fun. This has been great.
Blue,
Blue, you are
thank you
awesome. We will
so
be in
much.
touch.
We
Thank you.
love you.
Thank
You're
you.
my girl,
You're
Blue.
welcome.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for doing the podcast. So
Uh,
fun.
So
So
welcome.
yeah,
fun.
Thank you for
W
yeah,
having me on.
Of
yeah,
course. All right.
yeah, of
When you say
course.
goodbye to you, leave your browser on till it says upload, right? And then we will talk to you
You
soon.
got it.
All right. Take care,
Yeah.
Blue.
All
Blue,
right.
thank you again.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
That was so fun.
Yeah, dude, it's the longest we've been on.
That is the longest we've ever been on ever.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She is
Good
awesome.
energy.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
What a weird sort of could you imagine? Like of all the things you have to live through, right? I'm talking about you've survived meningitis, but like you see color and you
Mhm.
feel like you see color when you're touched. Like you have to go through your whole life like looking at people and being like, that guy, that
Yeah.
color sucks. Or, you
Well,
meet somebody.
I completely forgot to ask her. I wanted to ask her what happens when she picks up an orange.
What color is it?
Like, what color is it? You know what I mean? If it's not an orange, then what is it?
Maybe
You know?
is it like spoiled, the like spoiled fruit or something? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But what a way to go through your life to
Mhm.
have to put up with like, just so I could see it being it's sad, right? Because like she said, and it's not sad. I'm saying there's elements of it that suck, right? She can't go to live concerts anymore because of just the effect of it,
Yeah.
right? It's just a whole different vibe. And what a different energy it brings to the world that we're playing
Oh, yeah,
in
big time.
terms of what you can see and what you can sense. I like that. I like that part of the conversation too, talking about are you seeing spirits in color and how does that appear? And that's pretty nuts. Really
Yeah,
nuts. What an interesting person.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, definitely.
but again, guys, if you're just jumping into the live now or you've been with us for the whole time, the whole episode will drop tomorrow morning. Or you can rewatch it on YouTube. You can find the Blue Bodhi, the links to it in the link tree in my bio, in the Splintered
Yep.
Spirits bio. By all means, what a wonderful guest. What a lot of
Yeah.
fun. We got a lot of
Very
fun
cool
things coming
person.
up. Tuesday, let's leave it with this. We've got a big interview with Lauren Hellickson at Lauren Haunts. You've seen Lauren around, man. She's been in appearance. She's on at Paracon. She's a ghost hunter who doesn't believe in ghosts.
Ghosts. Yep,
And
yep,
yet she's
yep.
she is an inventor. She's a scientist. She's out there with a practical. That was a fun interview too.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun one. I felt really dumb. It was like she was asking such smart questions and not even like hard questions. And it was just like, oh, it felt like I was on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I failed every time.
Yeah.
But it's such a good. Lauren is she's another really great guest. Man, we got a lot of fun ones coming up,
Yeah,
guys.
we do. We
We
really
got
do.
we got Monique Too Soon. We've
God,
got
she was
Chip
that
Coffee.
was oh, yeah, Chip was awesome.
I'm sitting down with Patty Negri tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah,
we've
that's
got
cool.
guys, we got
We got a
good
lot.
guests. We've got the group Estes method coming up that we've talked about 100 times. I get a coffee reading from Kathy Nadal where she reads my thing, which is wild, But like, listen, if you're watching us, please like, share, subscribe. You don't want to miss these episodes wherever you get podcasts. Comment, give us a thumbs up. I mean, you could give us a thumbs down if you're a dick, but please don't. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, I don't know why you're here if you hate us. We're
Yeah,
trying to do
some
it.
people in the chat are saying they can't wait for the Chip episode.
Chip's great. Oh, there was
Yeah.
a question before that was really like, I think he was kind of trolling, but it was, I want to answer it because you know how I feel about trolls. All right. This guy asked John, oh shit. It went away. Let me put it up on screen. Hold on. All right, look at this question. Check this out. What is the difference between this and right-wing fundies claiming that they see demons in everyone that doesn't agree with them? Serious question from the Venomous Rider. I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
I'm not sure either. I mean, there's very, very few select right-wing people that turn around and say that there's demons, so I'm not sure what he's like, are you referring to, like, the what's that guy, that fucking psycho that says that, like, that the chemicals are turning the frogs gay, like, you talking about, like, people like that?
Like RFK or something?
No, 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 not RFK. We're going farther than RFK. What the hell's that crazy guy? I can't is that what he's talking about? I don't know.
I'm wondering if the real point of his question is I wonder if the real point of his question is like, what's the difference between us having fun talking about spirits as opposed to people who are like evangelicals or who might be like demonizing you and saying that Satan isn't real or Satan's coming to haunt you. Maybe that's the point of his question. And
Maybe.
I would
Well, I
say
can
that
tell you this,
I'll
if
tell you
that's
what
the point, the first thing is we're not locking our children in closets so
right.
that they fear God, okay?
No. This is
Like
I'll tell you I'll tell you the difference between what is this. If you're wondering what Splintered Spirits is, you're talking to two people who are curious about the paranormal. And John is a big believer. He has been documenting spirits for years. He communicates with spirits on the regular, through various apps and devices and, sort of as we've talked about, a tech type of medium, if you will, where he uses these devices to communicate. And I'm fascinated by the world and curious about what it goes. What we don't do is condemn or be closed-minded about it from anyone's particular point of view and how they look at it. So we don't shame people, we don't demonize people, and we don't debunk. We question and we stay curious and we stay open-minded and we believe. And anybody who doesn't believe, or is just so sure of it, and it's funny too. I mean, we're going on long, I guess, but it's the one thing I love talking. We have a couple skeptics coming up. One is a hardcore skeptic, right? He's like, he doesn't believe in shit. The
That's
other
a great
guy,
episode, though.
it's a
That was
great
a
episode.
a great episode.
James
Yeah,
Underdown,
oh, yeah,
super
me and him
fun.
got along great.
It's really fun. And then I interviewed another guy. His name's Benjamin Radford. Really great guy. I mean, I asked Ben, and you're going to see this, right? And I asked Ben, this is what I said, what would it take? What's the evidence that it would take for you
Panda,
to
the
believe?
frogs don't care, by the way. I'm just answering
Right,
someone in the
right.
chat. The
But it's like,
frogs don't care, Panda.
the question is, what would it take to a skeptic for you to believe? What would the evidence take? And to Ben's, and for Ben, honestly, it wasn't even something he could answer, which is really the problem with skeptics all in, right? Because at the end of the day, until they see it for themselves, they'll never believe it. There's nothing you could do. And I was like, well, if I give you, here's the stats on the location before we investigate, right? Here's all the electrical things. Here's all the readings we got. Here's eyewitness testimony. Like if I did a triple blind study of this location and then showed you the anomalies and then had the EVP evidence and an eyewitness and then a placebo, sort of like someone who didn't know we were there. Like if I presented you like documented video that I'm willing to bet even a skeptic wouldn't believe it. Like there's nothing
Oh,
you
of
could
course
do
not.
until they were
Yeah,
in the room to see it. They
yeah.
have to see it to believe it, which is really an interesting thing. But I'm not shitting on Ben. Was awesome. I mean, he's really wild, and very open and so curious. That's what I loved, about Benjamin Radford. Guys, look him up. I mean, he's part of the CFI, which is um, the Center for Inquiry. They're big skeptics, right? This is a big, big organization of skeptics. But he is so curious and so interested and so wants to, and so it goes out there. And that's coming up too. That'll be in a couple months that we drop that. But anyway, we're getting off topic. I mean, today was about Blue. Today was fun. This is a whole different vibe, a whole different thing about energy and spirits and all of that. And yeah, man, just our absolute longest
Yo,
running
hashtag
episode.
justice for frogs. Justice for frogs. Hashtag justice for frogs.
I guess, yeah, we don't want no we listen, no frogs were harmed in the making of Splintered Spirits,
Ever.
ever,
And we love
ever.
all frogs, no
We love
matter
all
what they're
frogs,
into.
toads, leaping frogs, colorful frogs, glass
Tree
frogs,
frogs.
warts, frogs with warts. This is
The frogs and warts. The frogs with the warts.
Frogger, the ones that cross the street.
Yes.
We're all in every frog there is.
Shit.
All right, John, this was a great one.
Yeah, it was
Bravo
fun.
to us.
Gary,
Bravo to us.
awesome.
All right,
Everybody,
my man. Everybody, thank you. Thank you in the chat. Instagram, thanks for watching. We will see you
Blue,
all
thank you.
Tuesday. You're going to tune in. Lauren Hellickson. Great episode. And then we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, I think, is it next week, our live, we're having a little fun. I'll leave you with
Yes,
this.
that's what we're going.
We've got, we're doing a live with Ashley Marino. She's going to be on our podcast, and then John and I are going to do another podcast, Dark Realm podcast, which is going, and I'll tell you more about it. Follow us, but we're doing a little collab. It's going to be a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, now I officially will say goodbye to all of you. John, I'll see you.
Gary, wait.
Adios. Well, that's it for another episode of Splintered Spirits. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay curious.